Hey guys, how's it going? Solo Blighted here. Don't get used to this because it's probably going to be a one-time thing and a one-time thing only. Anyway, YouTube have been moving dead subs, so I'm actually at 1,000 yet, so yeah, I guess I have to work up to that level again. But anyway, hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Saturday's upload. Today I've got a OU match against someone by the name of Prezevil, my Skype. And yeah, we're gonna play right about now. So as you can see, he's got you know, it's pretty much a rain team really. I'm not really sure why Volcron is there, but although I think it's probably there because of Hurricane and whatnot. And yeah, I'm just using the random team. I've got Warfire Rascal here, but anyway, let's get into the match. So he's going to lead with his Jolteon, I'm going to lead with my Cosmic, aka my Jirachi. And first things first, he's going to go for a Yawn because that's pretty much what Jolteon does. I haven't actually seen Yawn very much anyway, but I'm going to lead with my Rocks, you know, first turn Rocks really because Rocks are nice. So I'm going to switch out because I'm going to due to fall asleep in the next turn, so I'm going to go into my Prezevil. And he's just going to Volt Switch out just in case he predicts the switch, you know, get some damage and then keep his momentum up. So which is what he can do. So he's going to switch out, and here comes Sizzle. And Sizzle, I'm thinking he's going to go for the Bullet Punch, because Percy's not very effective against Prezevil because he's part fighting and therefore it's pretty much useless anyway. So I know for that he's going to go for a Bullet Punch. So, or even a U-turn, as he's actually going to go for after I bring in my Salamence. And Salamence, I have a very hard time trying to, you know, make it work because Salamence, you know, is weak to rocks and Mammothswine or Weaver, you know, Decays. I don't know, it just doesn't seem to work. I mean, you know, I find it to be quite underwhelming in my experience. But here comes Politoed, and Politoed's probably carrying the Ice Beam, which is why he switches in. And I know I can't OHKO it for a fact unless I was, banded or something like that. So I'm going to switch out, go into my Squidward, aka my Tentacruel, and he does go for the Ice Beam, you know, just to get some super effective damage on me. But that's not the case because my Tentacruel is such a special defensive monster. So he's going to switch out into Toxicroak, just in case if I go for Scald or Toxic or even Toxic Spikes, but I'm going to predict that, go back into Salamence, and here's pretty much where it's checkmate for this Toxicroak because I can just simply go for an Earthquake and take that one shot after I give it in some Intimidate, but that's not me mad because I'm going to take out an Earthquake, you know, so, yeah, I am Life Orbed, I'm Jolly, but I'm Life Orbed, super effective. Toxicroak has bad defenses anyway, which is why it's going to go down there. So, down goes Toxicroak, and the next Pokemon is Jolteon, and fearing the Hidden Power Ice, I'm going to switch out. So, I'm going to go into my Jirachi, as you're going to see, and he does go for it, I believe. Yeah, he does go for it. So here comes Hidden Power Ice, and he's not going to do very much because, you know, I'm part Steel. You should know this by now. Ice is not very good against Steel. I'm blabbering. Anyway, my Jirachi is special defensive, so it should take on most of Jolteon's moves. At least a Jirachi there. And he goes for Yawn again, just trying to put me to sleep. And I go for a Wish, just in case if I, you know, I can pass over someone else. Now here is where I make one of the biggest mistakes in the game, and it's going to bite me in the ass later in the match as well. I go into my Salamence thinking I can take on, what, a Thunderbolt or a Thunder, and look what happens. I get one hit KO from that point. I mean, the most logical thing to do there was to go into Prezevil and then take the Thunder or the Hidden Power Ice and then get a Wish for him. But that's not what I do. I don't know what I was doing. I must have the Mind Block or something like that. So I go into Prezevil now, he goes for the Hidden Power Ice, and looking at the damage, I was like, yeah, I should have probably gone into this guy. Because, you know, he's part Grass and he has high special defense, and he could have taken whatever move and then get the Wish up. But, so, I'm just gonna go for a close combat and then take that from that point, because, you know, Jolteon hasn't got the most stellar defenses. So, first, Jolteon is down, Jolteon, I'm saying. Sizzle comes in, and because of my -1 defense, I don't want to take a Bullet Punch to the face, which is why I'm going to switch out, go into my Jirachi just to resist that. And yeah, he does go for it as well, and judging by the damage, seems to be banded because, you know, he went for a U-turn and then, you know, U-turn suggests possible banned. And he also switched out as well, which is why he's even more confirmed to be banned, because otherwise he would have just U-turned out from there. So he goes into his Politoed, I go for a Thunder Wave just to catch any Pokemon switching to paralyze it, because that would help a lot. And yeah, now I'm in the face of a Politoed, and my intention here is to go for a Wish just in case I can you know, just to get some ration, you know, pass off to someone else possibly, because Iron Head is the only person move I have, and it's not very effective against Politoed. So he goes for Hydro Pump, and that does quite a lot. I'm not exactly sure if it's EV in special attack, but because of my EV spread, you know, it's probably isn't. I don't know, maybe it's just Rain talking. But anyway, I'm gonna go into Virizion just to take the next move, should he go for it. But he actually switches out and goes into a Sizzle. Not really sure if he predicted that or not, you know, just to like, you know, go for, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm getting distracted from outside. But anyway, I go for a close combat now just to try and take it out from there. If I had Life Orb, that would have been definitely a clean kill from there, but no, he just lives, and then he goes for a Banded U-turn and takes my ass out because Virizion hasn't got the best of defenses and whatnot, so down goes Virizion. So he switches out, and then he goes into Politoed. So I'm gonna have to go into my Victini, because Victini is the best Pokemon to go into really, because he carries Thunderbolt, and then he can take out the Politoed from there. So that's what happens. Politoed goes down, and yeah, I'm basically in a, I don't know, it's just Thunderbolt takes him out, I guess. I'm really getting distracted from outside, sorry about that, I'll try and concentrate more. So here comes Volcarona, takes a big chunk from Stealth Rock's damage, and if I had Life Orb from there as well, I would have taken it out, but unfortunately I'm Expert Belted, just to bluff the Scarf, and he goes for a Quiver Dance. Now, I was fearing he might have the Morning Sun, but he doesn't have the Morning Sun because if he had Morning Sun, he probably wouldn't go for it, because, you know, Morning Sun doesn't recover as much HP as it does in the rain as opposed to the sun. So he's just going to go for a Bug Buzz, nearly taking me out, although I'm not taking out just yet. It's not a date, sorry. So I go for a Psychic just to clean up things there, and down goes Volcarona. Keep saying Virizion, they both start with V. Anyway, he goes into Sizzle, hoping to live the Stealth Rock's damage, but he just goes down because he isn't adequate enough health to do so. So now comes in Dragonite, and this Dragonite is the bane of my existence. Nearly to every single Pokemon team I bring that hasn't got a Mammoth in it. So I go for a Psychic, doesn't do enough because Dragonite is just a bulky mother foe. And he goes for a Dragonite, and he goes for a Dragon Dance, and yeah. Then he goes for a Roost, and I'm like, crap. But I do have a plan here. I could have this Saving Grace in the next turn or so. He goes for another Dragon Dance, and here I have this special move called Searing Shot. And what Searing Shot does is that it's 100 base power, so it's more accurate than Fire Blast. But it has a 30% chance to burn, like Lava Plume. So if I had gone the burn there, that probably would have saved me the match from there. But he goes for Substitute, probably predicting my next Searing Shot, and I try and go for that in hope for Desperation to burn it, but unfortunately he doesn't, because, you know, he goes for a sub. So I'm forced to keep going for Psychic just to make sure he isn't behind that sub, and he's just gonna keep on Dragon Dancing and keep on roosting just to keep his health up and his attack up and his speed up, while I desperately try and go for Psychics just to get a crit, because that's the only thing that can save me in this match. And then now he decides to finally go for an Outrage and take me out. And here I'll go into my Jirachi, hoping to leave this hit because, you know, I resisted, but unfortunately he has enough power to take me out from there. And then I see he gets confused, I'm like, yes, but he has the Lumbo, so I'm like, really? So pretty much all my Pokemon is here for slaughter, and here's where the Salamence, you know, could have come into play, because he has the 3 turn Outrage, I don't know, he has enough Outages to take me out without getting confused, and he gets a crit there. So if I had Salamence, I probably would have been able to get off another, you know, hit from him to give him confusion, but that's not the case. So I lose out with a 1-0, and I really hate Dragonite. So yeah, that would be it. If you liked it, you're welcome to leave a like and all sorts and whatnot. And that would be it. I will catch you guys later. Next time I eat Magikarp.